Welcome, Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, I have our little baby girl on the side of us who's going to be hosting with me on tonight. So we just gonna give it a few more. We already have the mic and stuff going for the listeners. We're just gonna wait for people to go ahead and log in. It's gonna be good. We sitting here. With Shania. You excited? Why are you excited? Oh, let me go ahead and put a disclaimer, Facebook. Sorry, baby. We do not own the rights to this music that's playing in the background, just in case, whoever. So, why you say baby? You excited to be here? It's your first time doing this? Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Let's go wait a few more. We got our little Fred Hammond that's going on right now. Huh. We just gonna give it a few more Facebook before we go ahead and dive on in. Tonight should be very, very, very interesting, huh? Oh, you think it's gonna be interesting? Huh?
I don't know.
You don't know? You just think it will? I think it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be good. For anybody watching, it's not like a bright red. Wear my red. My baby don't have on her red. Oh, you have on a red undershirt. Okay, wear red. Woo-hoo. Bring awareness to sickle cell. For anyone it is who's out there, I am a survivor of sickle cell. Yeah, so it's definitely something I celebrate every single September. Make sure I wear my red. Make sure that I'm very productive with bringing awareness to it. A lot of people don't really understand or know what sickle cell is, but I would encourage everyone to at least dive in and get a little bit of information about it. We know we hear about the sickle cell disease, the sickle cell anemia, and then most of us, too, with being African American, for most of us, we still even carry the sickle cell trait. But I would encourage everyone, hey, you have not been tested for it, so make sure you go ahead and do that. So yeah, it's Wear Red for Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So let's sit here, we'll wait a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and get started. It's gonna be so fun, huh? Again, disclaimer. You know the dance with me? No? No, the girl said she ain't gonna dance with me. It's okay, it's okay. So let's go ahead and get started. For anyone it is who's tuning in, like I always say is Facebook, I may not be looking at you, but I'm definitely paying attention to you because I do have it on my phone here and in front of me. So for anyone it is who, any listeners or anyone it is who's tuning in for Facebook for the very first time, my name is Johanna Babineau-Zeno. Yes, recently married. I know it is a long name. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to be here. We have the podcast that is called Uncomfortable because we talk about some very uncomfortable stuff it is that most people don't really want to talk about. And then we have our baby girl. Yay! Shania, who's going to be co-hosting with me on tonight. We have the topic of preteen discussions on tonight. So I'm just going to be talking to our baby girl, just asking her a few different questions. We're just going to engage in conversation, basically what this show is all about. So you want to go ahead and introduce yourself to all the listeners?
My name is Shania. I go to Karen Middle. I'm in the Biomedical Academy.
How old are you?
12.
Oh, so tell all of the listeners and anyone watching Facebook Live who's not familiarized with the Biomedical Academy at Karen Middle, like what is it about?
It's an academy for people who want to be doctors.
Or
anything in the medical field.
Like nurses, LPNs, registered nurses, and so on. What are some of the things it is that y'all do with the biomed?
We dissect stuff. We do strawberry DNA. Oh, we do lock-ins.
And
We
the
go-
lock-ins?
And this year we're going rock climbing and stuff.
Oh, so you're excited about that, the rock climbing stuff, right? So yeah, that is our baby girl. So what made you want to partake in the Biomed Academy?
Because when I was in 5th grade, they came to school and I had already wanted to be a doctor.
Oh. So you made up your mind what type of doctor you want to be already?
OBGYN.
Oh, OBGYN? Well, I don't think you can help Mr. T or your daddy with no kind of this cancer something, but definitely the women in the family, you can definitely help us with some things. So yeah, so we're just gonna be talking, having a conversation with my baby girl on tonight. One thing it is that I love to do as a mother, I love to engage in conversations with my daughter, which she can tell you we do that pretty much every single day. We having a conversation on the way going to school, whenever I'm picking her up, sometimes even when we're in the house. And I think that's something that's very important because even though our kids live in-house with us, it's a lot of things it is that our kids go through or things it is that they see or things it is that they experience. And unless us as parents start to open our mouth and start to ask the questions, then we'll never know. Is that correct? Because you think you just come out and tell me everything? Why is that?
Because I was scared sometimes.
Why you be scared? Like I would been like you just be scared to ask me a question, or you be scared of how like I'm gonna respond to the question.
Oh,
Why is that? Why is
I don't know. Because I be already knowing the answer to some question. I still be want to ask.
And for any of my listeners in Facebook Live, we do have a rule of the house. It's more so with me. It is an open door policy, like my baby said. But one thing it is that I tell them before they start to ask a question is, don't ask me a question when you already know the answer. So you just admit it, like you just sometimes just come ask me some questions and you already know the answers, but you yet still want to see what it is that I'm going to say, which is fine. Completely fine. So as we go ahead and we dive in, tell us, like, you know, so that way my listeners can get a little bit, you know, familiarized with you, know a little bit stuff about you. Like, what is some of the things it is that you like to do? Like in your spare time or even at school, or like, what is it?
When I'm at school, I like to play, we run track, and then after that, I go in and I go by a coach that we have, and I'll be playing this game called Gotcha. We play mat ball. And it's game's fun.
So you just like the fact that you play stuff at school? What about like the academic stuff? Like you in biomed, like that's like a lottery.
It's not hard right now because we never started doing stuff yet.
Oh, so maybe once you start doing stuff, it may get better. What about last year? What you enjoyed about it last year?
Well, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the lab because that was nasty, but I like that I got to make a lot of new friends and like get to know more people. And I like last year, I used to like to go to Mr. Goody class because Mr. Goody funny.
Oh Jesus! I'm trying to say who was like our funny teacher. Like anyone it is who went to Northside. I think Miss Kyle was like my funniest teacher. It must be something about them science teachers because she taught. I took a forensic science class with Miss Kyle, and it was something else it is that she taught. I don't quite remember what it was, but she was like the goofy lady. She was like the silly lady. Like she was just always into stuff. And what was so weird is she drove like this big ladybug doodlebug car. Like it was
I think some punch buggies.
A punch buggy, but she actually had it red with the black polka dots on it to make it look like a ladybug. I just thought it was weird, very weird. But for us to get into like some little questions and stuff it is that I have from my little baby girl is one of the things it is, not saying it's something that you deal with or what you battle with, but one thing it is that I know even whenever I was younger, we dealt with a lot of stuff whenever it came to, you know, like the peer pressure, or we came to like wanting to fit in. And what winds up happening is we do all these things based on what we see on TV, because yeah, back in the day we never had like the whole iPhone gadget stuff. We never had internet at the click of the finger. Like, we just didn't have all that stuff. But when we were younger, it was more so too of what we seen on TV, of what we related to, or if not, you was in school and you seen people who came up like with the nice flashy stuff or whatever, or if not, like how mama had shared with you one time, like, I'm dark skinned, I'm like the darkest one in the family besides you now. So I mean, you're not like the chocolate ones in the family. But dealing with even my skin complexion for a very long time, because on TV you would see like the models, or you would see like some of the, what I used to say, like the pretty girls back in the day. They had like the high yellow skin with the long hair. So for me, that used to be something that made me feel like less than, like, because I didn't have the long hair to my butt, or not, I didn't have like the the high yellow complexion, or just the caramel complexion. So with back then, that's what we had. But nowadays, y'all have like society and like just telling you that everything it is that you have to do, or something it is that you have to uphold, or an image you have to keep, is based on like social media. So like, how do you feel about that?
I really don't pay attention to that stuff.
You don't pay attention?
No.
Why you don't pay attention?
I don't know.
Is
I
it
just don't.
Is it because you just know who you are and you're very comfortable and confident in yourself, or could it be that like it's just like some negativity or something that it portrays that I know I don't want to be or partake in it, or
It's just that I just don't pay attention to it.
you don't pay attention to it? So whenever you see, like, because like I said, I dealt with that. So like, if you see somebody on TV, like somebody who looks completely different than you, you don't do like the comparison of, oh, they pretty and I'm not pretty, or they got more hair than me and I don't have more hair.
Nope, because I'm prettier than everybody on TV.
Hey, you know what? That's the way to be. That's the way to have the self-confidence in yourself, which is good. But you do have some who do that. So because you have a high confidence in yourself, of your looks and your personality, and I tell y'all all the time that y'all very beautiful, y'all very intelligent, y'all very smart. For anyone it is who don't know, from my Facebook Live, my baby girl got her scores back, and she scored mastery across the board. So yay! That lets me know that you're really putting in the work when it comes to school, and you're really studying, and you're really putting your best foot forward, because I think when we looked at it, it was a very low percentage on some of the kids who scored mastery. But if you can give any type of encouragement to maybe anyone who looks in the lens of what social media portrays, like, what type of advice would you give to them?
Just don't pay attention to it.
But what did they do? What did they do? Pay attention to it.
If they do pay attention to it, then just know it's not true.
And how do you know it's not true? Because it's just not a standard that you uphold for yourself. You know what I mean? Or is it because it's what other people say instead of...
It's what other people think, but it's not what you know.
Right. And like, I know one thing it is that we tell y'all all the time is from all the kids, because anyone who knows our story, like, we're a blended family. So one of the things that we try to teach our kids all the time is not what people say about you, but it's what God says about you, because he's the one who created you. He's the one who gave you your skin color. He gave you your eye colors. He knew all of the numbers of hairs on your heads, like he knew you while you was in your mother's womb. So I know that's one thing it is that we tell y'all, but then at the same time, you do have people who don't know that. You know what I mean? So like, how does that make you feel? Like, if anyone had to like bring a situation like that to you, like, how would that make you feel? Like, even though I know you said, like, I would tell them, oh, don't worry about it, or don't this and don't do that. Like, some people are not as strong willpower, you know, as someone who really has, like, high confidence and have high, you know, self-esteem.
I would probably, to be honest, I would probably say they should have never believed what they did, what they believed, and this would have never happened.
It would have never happened. So you would just try to give them like a different perspective on different things. You would just try to help them with helping them see their self for who they truly are, and just learning how to, you know, love what they see in the mirror. You love what you see in the mirror? And what you love about what you see in the mirror?
Myself.
What about yourself?
Everything.
Everything. Everything like what?
Because I'm funny and weird in my own way. I make myself laugh at myself. And, I don't know, but I'm just funny in my own way.
You just
and
funny.
weird.
Funny.
Yeah, because you called me weird earlier because of what I was doing with the tripod.
Yeah, like, Jesus, you are just a little weird, just to be honest. But I don't think me and you had a discussion, but a couple of weeks ago, like, school has started and everything, and you know how mama, I just be like looking at videos because I love to hear like what people have to say regardless if it's good or bad, because everyone has a voice, but not everyone uses their voice, or nor do they always speak. But I did watch this one video where they had this mom who really showed concern, which actually she's on there. Hey, you know who you are? You said, hey, JoJo. You know what I mean? Where she showed a concern where they had, where she had seen there was some little girls, I don't want to get it wrong, but there were some little girls who she seen like in their school uniform, and their school uniforms were like very tight, or it was like very short, and she was just really expressing on how, as a mother, how she just felt like it was just inappropriate. She said, you know, to keeping in mind, and not to throw any shade or throw anything on anyone, but just to bring to the light that we do know that sometimes some people are just not fortunate enough, you know, to have. But then there are some who just on purpose, intentionally, just wear clothes a certain way. Like, I even have to address you sometimes. Like mentally, you really not thinking that what you have on is inappropriate or is wrong. You see what I'm saying? And then once I tell you to go change, you actually go do it without a problem. But what she was expressing was that some of the girls, like, they were wearing, you know, their clothes like a little bit tight, and, you know, it was just a little bit short. And how one of the things that concerned me the most was she expressed how even though you doing it and you may be doing it in all innocent, it still could attract the wrong attention. So, not saying that you're one of those, but whenever you see that certain image, because again, society do try to portray a certain image that girls or even boys should uphold because they see so many other people doing it. But when you see that, like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, how do you feel?
For people that do it on purpose, they shouldn't do it because it's not cute, and they try to be something that they not, knowing that they got other clothes they could wear.
But it's school uniforms. Like, in her video, she talked about school uniforms.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what you're talking about? Okay, baby. So, that's it? Like, it's not cute. It's inappropriate. But she even expressed on how sometimes it could attract the wrong attention. Do you believe that's what it does sometimes when you wear very inappropriate clothing? Or you never thought about it to that extent? Okay, well, it's something it is that you can definitely learn now. I know, like, you know, we do our best with, you know, not giving y'all too much information, but you are a preteen now, which means that you are getting older, you are developing and so on. It's not just you, but it's also two other girls that's out there as well. So when it does come to like certain clothing, you know, that you wear, and I think what it could be is that we see it so much on television, like when it comes to like music videos, or when it comes to, you know, certain women or even certain girls to where they just think it's cute. You know what I mean? And for them, it may be cute, but at the same time, you also have men and boys out there. And I remember whenever I was younger, one thing that was always taught to me, and I tell it to you and your sister as well, is if you have to respect yourself, because a person is only going to give you as much respect as it is that you give to yourself. So if you position yourself to where you're dressed inappropriate or you're dressed being disrespectful, don't you think a person has the right to disrespect you if you carrying yourself like that? Also, too, how we tell y'all is like, you know, you're always supposed to carry yourself like a young lady. You're always supposed to make yourself presentable, look presentable, which I believe that is something that y'all definitely do, but it's still good for you to know that you could be doing all these things and yet you still may have some individuals who don't see it for what it is. You know what I mean? So if you had to like give any type of advice, if you had to say anything to any of the listeners or not to anyone who is Facebook Live, like what would your thoughts be on it? Like what would you suggest to them? Like what would you recommend?
For like clothing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if
Just say it.
I don't know. If you're wearing tight clothes and you know you have other clothes to wear, then just don't wear the tight clothes no more.
Yeah, but you like with you being on school campus, like do you see that sometimes?
Not really.
Not really. Well, that's good. That must mean that they like really enforcing like school policy, which is really good. That makes me feel comfortable as a parent. You know what I mean? To know that that's not really being done. I know one of the other things, like when it comes to with school, is one thing it is that we hear a lot about is a lot of bullying that takes place and bullying that goes on. Like, have you ever been in a situation to like where you have been bullied or no? Do you know of anyone who has been bullied? No. So like, what are your thoughts or your feelings even on bullying?
It's not right.
It's not right. And why isn't it not right? Like,
Because when people get bullied so much, like some of them commit suicide.
yeah, that's a sad situation too. Because not only when that happens do that individual take their life, but they also take their life for everyone it is who is connected to them, like their parents, you know, like their loved ones, their parents, their friends, and that can also to leave like a real tragic mark even too with the school. Like just to say like, what if you ever had to witness it before? Like, what would you do? Like, how would you handle it?
First, I probably wouldn't know what to do. I'll probably just try to forget about it, and then I will go tell someone. I'll give all the details, time, place, and all the names. Then I'll go back to what I was doing before.
So you'll definitely go get help. So with that being said, like, what would make you not want to intervene?
Because like some of the stories and stuff, they like, and like the scenarios we have in that school, like people are trying. I'm not saying that I'm scared on that, cause I'm not, but like the bullies, whenever they see people trying to stand up to them, they go like try to bully them, and like that's not a situation I want to be in, cause like I don't want to get bullied, but at the same time I'm not scared, so I'm not gonna get bullied.
Okay, so you just basically like just rather just kind of play it safe. So instead of me actually intervening and doing anything, I just rather go get help. I'd rather get like a teacher or someone else to come and intervene. But then at the same time too, don't feel bad about it, because if I'm not mistaken, in some states, I believe like even if you see like a fight or if you see bullying or whatever it is that's taking place, they even have like laws to where teachers can't even intervene on it. Why? Because of the safety. So I know, like for me, I think I would probably do the same thing it is that you have done, but because of because I just think it's just something that's so ugly, and I don't like it. And I truly believe that people who bully other people is because they have some type of weakness, or if not,
They've probably been bullied before.
they've probably been bullied before, or if not, sometimes it can even just be like a sense of jealousy. You know what I mean? Or some type of enviness towards some, or like some type of animosity towards it. So whenever I see, which I have witnessed it whenever I was younger, is I intervened on it. And why? Because I believe that bullies are weak.
If it was like they were just fussing at the person, I wouldn't do nothing. But if like they was hitting on a person, then I probably would tell them something.
You would tell them something? Yeah, me personally, I just couldn't sit back and just watch someone get bullied. Like, it wasn't just whenever I was younger, but it's even too in today's age. Like, you know, I've been out of work from Stella for a while. So even like in the workplace, seeing that, you know, they had a certain individual to where it kind of seemed like they was just always like pounding on them for stuff, like putting more work on them than what it was before. And like me, because you know me and my mouth, I had issues and troubles with my mouth before. Like I would actually have to vocalize some things, and like, nah, like they ain't getting paid for that. Like they never physically put their hands on them, but they were trying to make them do stuff that they was not getting paid for, nor was it in their job title. So me, I'm more of one like where I have to intervene. And I think because I'm not really scared of what the consequences are when it comes to seeing a person who's being hurt or being taken for granted or being put in a bad situation, I just rather intervene because I don't want to see them go through that any longer than what they're currently going through.
It feels like some harsh consequences that ain't gonna do nothing. But it was like not that bad of a consequence to do something.
Yeah. So what if you had to see any of your friends bullying somebody, or had to see one of your friends being bullied?
I'm gonna most definitely say something.
So if it's somebody you know, like a friend, then you're going to intervene. But if it's somebody who you don't really know, then you'll just go call someone. So what makes that person so different than your friend? Because everyone has feelings.
No, like, I mean, either way I would say something with my friends, but if it was somebody I didn't know and they was like just fussing with the person, I probably wouldn't do that. But if they was hitting people, then I would react the same way I would react with my friends.
You'd react the same way, because just seeing somebody get hit, like it's just not a cool thing. And like how I tell y'all all the time is, y'all not nobody punching bag. So I'm not one to say, hey, somebody put their hands on you, you know, do what you have to do. But I am one to say, hey, you are not anyone's punching bag. So make sure that you take the proper approach, meaning go tell someone and then, you know, continue or whatever. Then, you know, you get the parents and so, you know, so on involved in the situation. But saying that it was one of your friends, and yeah, you know what I mean? And like, what is one of the conversations that me and you usually have sometimes when it comes to friends? Like,
not everybody that you call your friends are your friends.
Not everyone who you call your friend is your friend. Is that something that you have experienced yet? That people it is who you thought was your friends turn out not to be true friends?
Last year, yeah, that was last year.
We're not gonna say no name though.
Yeah.
So
whenever they was picking with my other friend, and I said something, and then she had a problem with me.
So yeah. So now that you're preteen and you're getting into the world of like really understanding like friends, like do you call everyone friend, or do you have friends and like do you have associates? And if you have friends, then how do they qualify in the category of like being your friend?
My friends, I mean, they qualify in being my friend because I trust telling them stuff that I don't want nobody else to know, and they don't tell nobody.
And they don't tell nobody else. How you know they don't tell nobody else though? Like how you know? Like how do you know they don't tell nobody else?
Like you could tell when they tell other people, because then people will start saying stuff, and then you go just know. And if that was the only person you told, then ain't nobody else gonna tell nobody because nobody else knew.
And then too, you know, like when it comes to like that he say, she say, like I was never one that like that he say, she say. Like, believe it or not, I never belonged to a clique. I believe I got along with everybody in school, at least the ones who I thought that I did. I was never like quote unquote like the popular girl, and I never wanted that title. Like I never wanted that. I never wanted to hang around with the friends who hung with who had like just a certain type of clique. I hung with people who talked to like everybody. And I had, whenever I got into high school, I had this one individual where what she wanted me to do was she wanted me to click to her friends. And keeping in mind they were like sophomores, so they was like a year over me. So one of my biggest arguments I had with her was, I was like, well, just say if I wind up being friends with your friends, eventually y'all gotta graduate. So then once y'all graduate, then what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna still have a year here by myself. And I actually start to lead up to us losing our friendship. But what really helped me when I asked you the question earlier was, I said, do you have friends, or do you have friends and then you have some who's associates? Mama had learned at 7th grade. No, what year I had Mr. Carville? Mr. Carville, the math teacher at Acadian Middle, which many people don't know this story. So any of my listeners who I went to Acadian Middle with, or even listening Facebook Live, but I had this individual friend, which I ain't gonna say no name, but I was able to really tell the difference between a best friend, a friend, and an associate. And this was this individual who, how can I say it? I thought we were like best friends. Like we were sisters. We was always together. We did everything together. We hung around together. Like that was just like the whole kabang of everything. But there was this one in particular time where she had parents who smoke. So what she wanted to do was, she wanted to take the cigarettes and she wanted to bring it to school. And she had it on her. And then we was on our way walking to the bus stop. And we was on our way walking to the bus stop. And I knew she had the cigarettes on her. But because I was being a best friend at that, I was like, no, because her and some other people had planned to like smoke the cigarettes. So because I didn't want her to get in trouble, I took the cigarettes. And the bus was coming, so I didn't have enough time to go home and save the cigarettes. So what wound up happening was, I stuffed the cigarettes inside of my purse, because you know I used to have this cute little sash, little purse thing that I used to wear, and it went so good with my uniform. Like it was just cute. It was like dope cute. And just so happened, I'm guessing, I don't really know, but from what I'm picking up, or what I speculated to be is, whoever she was planning to smoke it with, she had to wind up telling them that I had the cigarettes. So by word of mouth, and that's why I say the he say, she say, like I said earlier, why I don't really roll with that. Word had got around saying that I had some cigarettes on me. So back in the day, because we had what was the DARE? It was the DARE program, say no to drugs and don't smoke or whatever. Because of what the foundation of the school was based on, girl, they had a police dog that came, and they put the police dog inside the classroom, and the dog had sniffed out the cigarettes. So all the cop did, because it was a police dog and the cops took my bag and they escorted me outside. And then it was like, well, is there anything you want to tell us, or anything it is that you have on you? I was like, yeah. I didn't lie, you know what I mean? Because I knew I was already caught anyways. So what wound up happening is, they took the cigarettes from me. I wound up going to the principal's office. They asked me what I was doing with the cigarettes. I was like, I'm holding it for a friend, which I really was telling the truth. I really was telling the truth. And they was like, what friend you holding it for? And I didn't snitch.
That's how I am. Like,
I didn't snitch.
like if I know I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble, I'm gonna get hints. So they can know.
So they can know, but you're not gonna just come out and say it. I didn't, but I did not snitch.
Certain friends though.
Certain friend. Well, this person I consider to be my best friend, and what wound up happening was they called Nanny. Nanny let me have it. Because Nanny was the type of person, and I think that's why I learned that from y'all too with parenting, is if the teacher called me, you automatically roam. Until you give me your story, which you already know that. If a teacher have to take any time out their day and call me and tell me that you done did something or you was involved, whatever, a teacher ain't just gonna lie on you. You see what I'm saying? And needless to say, that person who I thought was my friend, she never owned up to it. She never tried to bail me out. She never tried to say, hey Joe, look, I'm sorry. Still to this day, she never said she was sorry. And guess what? We're no longer friends. Which I thought we could have, which we did kind of go through high school, whatever, still kind of keeping it. But after high school, it was just like, I just kind of knew she was more of an associate than she was a friend based on how things had happened. Mama had to go with Nanny to, it was some type of seminar thing. We had to go to like some I call it like some AAU, some AA like classes or whatever. They had suspended me. Like I had that stuff on my record for something I did not do. So whenever mama be talking to you and saying stuff like, hey, you gotta really know and understand who your friends are. And why? Because it's even the people who you think are your friends, they really, really, really not your friends. So is there anything that it is that you need to would like to interject on that? I know how you said you found out that one person really wasn't your friend. How did that make you feel? Cause I was mad. I was upset. I was, Lord Jesus.
I knew that friendship wouldn't go. I knew that friendship kind of wouldn't go last, but at the same time, I was surprised. Then after I miss that person, but at the same time, I was like, I don't care.
It's not worth me getting in trouble, behind it. And we say friendship, but I know one thing it is that I know you have your friends on the outside, or any of the listeners who have kids, or anyone who's listening to Facebook Live, is we understand and know that y'all have y'all friends on the outside. And one thing it is that I tell, we tell our kids all the time is we not your friend. I'm not your friend. Do you look at me as a friend?
I'm happy that you said that.
Why are you happy?
Cause
You don't want to be my friend?
No.
Why?
Because you're embarrassing.
I'm embarrassing? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I got you. I'm embarrassing. Am I really that embarrassing? How embarrassing? I'm a parent.
Talk about going to graduation and prom.
Man, yeah, I'm pretty sure
all
that
things you
any
say-
parent want to
all the things you say, you be like, I'm going with signs and all that.
Yes.
And
when you got something going on and I'm excited about it, I'm gonna make this big old poster.
I be scared to tell you when I
have.
haven't been to school.
Yeah.
Thinking you gonna do that kind of stuff.
I will though, because you're my child, and I'm proud of you. It's just a parent's moment. It's just a parent's expressing their love. You may look at it to where it's embarrassing, but keep in mind, what about some kids who don't have parents there to support them? And you don't have just two parents, because of course you have your mom and your daddy, but you have a total of 4 parents. You have me, and then you have your mom, Miss Kim, with your dad, and then you have your daddy, and then you have your dad, Mr. T, with me. So you not only have 2 parents, but you have a total of 4 parents. And anyone who's listening, or even Facebook Live, for anyone who doesn't know that we're a blended family. So we a big of people. So how? Because I know growing up, well, you know the story. Well, Mama never had her dad in her life, but you got two dads. How did it make you feel? Like, isn't that exciting?
Yeah, because if I don't have one, I still got the other one.
You still have the other one. But what's so good about it is you have both of them. Current, present in your life. That's good. And you got two moms. You have your mom, me, who birthed you, and then you have your mom, Miss Kim. And one thing it is that we do identify as mom and dad. We refrain, our family refrains from using the word step because it just sounds cliche. It sounds ugh. Because it's an addition to, we prefer using the word stepmom. I mean bonus mom or bonus dad. So anytime it is that we relate or we're talking in conversations, it's always like my bonus mom or my bonus dad. You know what I mean? And I just think it's cute. It's not cute to say that kind of stuff, like bonus mom.
It's extra, but it is cute.
Why is extra? Like, why gotta be extra? Why gotta be extra? Why you have to label as being extra? Which it is. Literally, it really is extra. Because you have an extra mom. And you have an extra dad. You know what I mean? And then you have some kids who just not fortunate enough to have that.
But to be honest, y'all don't know hype type, and then Miss Kim and my dad are more calm type. So it's like, I gotta tell them stuff than y'all because they have a way different reaction.
Why do you say that? The good thing about it is you have the balance.
No,
you
because
find the balance.
If I tell y'all, I could tell y'all most happiest thing. Y'all gonna be the type, oh come on, let's go right now, and then they gonna be like, oh okay, they gonna be happy, but then they gonna be like, okay, just tell me what it is, so we could be that, and then
No, we extra. We extra. Our household runs on being extra. Why? Because we excited. Because we are proud. I don't care what it is. We go celebrate. We is a house of celebration. We celebrate everything. You get an A on your paper, we celebrate it. You did a kind act of service, we celebrate it. You did like bless somebody with something, guess what? We celebrate it. Our household runs on
we
celebration.
celebrate our eight. Can I say something?
No,
I was an eight.
no, because that's the issue and the problem with y'all little children nowadays. Y'all want to make everything a monetary kind of thing. Why? Like, why y'all do that? Like, why is it that you just can't? Why is it that you just can't roll with the fact that I'm supposed to make A's? I'm supposed to do, and maybe if you do what you're supposed to do, or even the allowance or whatever it is with stuff, then how you know we just ain't gonna bless you with stuff? You reap what you sow. So if you sow some good stuff, you're gonna reap some hot fries. You know that? Yeah. So sow some good stuff. And it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. So we come into like the conclusion and the ending of everything. But let's go ahead before we close out everything. Let's talk about some stuff. 2. Anyone it is who knows us know that we are Christ-based. Our faith, with our belief, we are Christians. Our faith is and we don't roll with religion stuff. We are more spirit led than a religion. Again, disclaimer, that is us. Not putting no judgment on nobody who don't do that. And things it is that we operate in is based on the word. So a lot of people know that we are servants in the kingdom, that we attend church like on a regular basis. And I know like whenever I was younger, we just went to church. We just showed up. Like if they had activities or whatever that was taking place, then we automatically by default you was just involved in it. But we never had any of our parents or any of our grandparents or so on who were like actually servants in the kingdom. But because me and Mr. T, we are, means that y'all are operating in the kingdom as well, meaning that y'all are servants. So because of that and because the structure of our lifestyle and the way how we maneuver and the way how we do things is, what are your thoughts about that? Like, how do you feel about working and operating in the kingdom?
I'm sorry for the things I dislike. Well, it's only one thing. I just don't like waking up early.
Oh my gosh. Like church service at 11 o'clock. Well,
No, but you
I know.
early because you said we slow. We
yeah,
take
but y'all
hours
are
to
slow. So if you slow, don't I have to like you Gary from SpongeBob? For anyone who doesn't know Gary, like they slow, they move like they have molasses. To really be honest with you, so that's why I have to wake you up early. And I know too, I have to be to church early because of my position.
No, but like, if you tell me, that if you can start waking me up later, why you gotta be faster? Then I'm gonna be faster. I
No.
know anything to wake up later. But what I like is working in the baby zone,
Where you serve at? Mm-hmm.
and I just like interacting with the kids that's in there.
You like interacting with the kids. So how do you feel that you have parents who are involved in the church? Like we not just involved in the church. We serve in the church. We clean the toilets in the church. We do the sound and media in the church. We operate. Yeah, you work with the sound and the media sometimes. But how does that make you feel? Like it doesn't make you feel any type of way that you have how some kids would say you got some church going parents.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Why is that a good thing?
I don't know, but it's just a good thing.
You're like so just straight to the point with it. It could be a good thing because I know, like, you know, we tell y'all many of our stories and stuff it is that we done and things it is that we've been involved in, and I know that a lot of decisions that we made wasn't pretty much having Christ in it. And not saying that our parents never did it, because I'm pretty sure they did know of it, but it's just not anything that was like the foundation and the structure of. So whenever you say it's a good thing, do you say it in the lens of that perspective? Is that we give y'all a foundation to stand on, and that we don't just tell y'all to do stuff, but we actually justify it with the word, with the Bible, and we tell y'all how to do things, you know, like unto God. And really, even though we're y'all parents and y'all still have to honor us, y'all still should want to do everything that pleases God.
Yeah, sometimes how we gotta do the dishes.
Oh my God, I'm not talking about chores. I am talking
No,
about.
but that's like that still got to do with pleasing God. Cause like
Yeah.
y'all want us to do the dishes, but like we really don't want to. Like we never do.
But it's true. I had to do dishes when I was younger.
No, we gotta do it every day, and it's a lot.
Because y'all dirty dishes every day, Shania. So like, if you stop dirtying dishes, and guess what? You won't have to wash no dishes, right? So guess what? You still gotta do it. But before we go ahead and we close out things, is what if, like, do you ever question your fate? Like whenever you're around people, like if someone had to ask you, what is your fate, or like who you believe in, would you be comfortable with telling them?
Certain people,
Why is that?
because certain people I'm just not comfortable talking to.
Why is that? Not even telling them about Jesus or how much
I
he
would,
loves
but
them.
like, if I don't know people, then it's gonna be uncomfortable for me to talk to them.
But why is that?
I don't know. It is.
So like, just say God had to say, look here, Shania, I have an assignment for you. I need you to go to this person here, and I need you to tell them about me. Would you go? God tell me to go.
because like I don't know, it's just that's just something I always did do. If I don't know the person, then I'm not gonna talk to them unless somebody actually make me talk to them.
Yeah, I think that's where me and you are a little bit different. Is because I can talk to like pretty much anybody. I know how to maneuver the conversation, but I'm able to talk to like anybody. So if you had, like, say for instance, like with the bullying situation, say like you see that individual to where they're hurt and just say you had to intervene, like, don't you think you have the right to like deposit in them, like to say like, look here, like God loves you, Jesus loves you, like even though whatever it is that happened, you know, don't take it to heart or whatever. Like, you don't think you would be responsible to like just share in that moment with them who you serve, and you know what I mean, and who loves them, and no matter what happens or no matter what goes on, just to let them know, like, look, God still loves you. Jesus still loves you. And then you can try to befriend them, and that gives you a new person to go talk to.
You know, but that kid's weird, just going up to people and talking to them and asking them if they want to be friends. It's just weird.
You don't have to, but that's the thing, you don't have to do it with asking a question. You can just engage in like a little small conversation. But anywho's, that's gonna wrap us up for tonight. Yay! From my little co-host, our baby girl Shania. I believe you did amazing. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna close this thing up with our preteen discussion. It's a whole bunch of good nuggets in there. Why? Is because we not mind readers whenever it comes to our teenagers, our children, or even the preteens. So making sure that we engage in so many different conversations with them as parents, it really can help us with learning a lot about them. Some things it is some of the things it is that's said, and some of the things it is that is unsaid. But that's one thing. If I can leave you guys with anything, is make sure that we developing a communication relationship with our kids. One thing it is that we tell our kids all the time is we have an open door policy. So never feel as if you can't come and talk to us, regardless if it's something where we're just going to be excited about, or even something it is that we may have to run our mouth about and even fuss, you know what I mean, about it. But making sure we just have that open door policy whenever it comes to our kids. And it doesn't just make it easy for them to just talk to us, but it also makes them more comfortable when it comes for them trusting us. So until next time, I'm Johanna.
Shania.
And that's Uncomfortable, our topic of preteens. Make sure to tune in for next week, 7 o'clock, Facebook Live.